Welcome back, everyone, to the 40 in Tennessee podcast. I'm Josh here with Randy in Houston, and we have a guest for you tonight. We'll bring her on shortly. So, Randy, I had a question for you. What I didn't know this happened. I pop onto Facebook to do this show, and so what is it like worshiping Bigfoot?
Yeah, I'm not sure yet. Still coming to grips with it with my new religion.
I have never heard anyone ever like reference that or say that to anyone in the community. Like, why you worship?
Yeah, I've not either.
That was interesting.
Do I know who
It all came about because there was someone in uh, on a forum that basically was posting. They had posted a picture of a giant, I think it's like 75 foot tall, this Hindu monkey god statue that's in Texas, and they were like, they put the passage down there, that God shall have no graven images and no gods before him and all this stuff. And there were people that were replying, and they're like, well, I'd rather look at somebody else's art than deal with someone else's bigotry and all this kind of stuff. And basically, like, I was like, look, man, it's not your place to as a Christian to be coming at people like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this ain't the way you fucking win hearts and shit. And they came back with, well, looking at your Facebook page, if there's something that you obviously have given your life over to and worship, it's Bigfoot. And I'm like, what?
What would
I literally came back with him, and I'm like, are you that dumb? Like,
what would a Bigfoot religion look like, though? Like, what?
I mean,
we're doing it.
Look,
gifting.
We go out and gift them fruit.
I think they got us. I think they pegged us, man.
We go out, we knock on trees and try to get
try to commune.
Try to commune.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I get it.
I've always said the woods are kind of like my holy place. So
we've named
this guy just made the scales fall from your eyes.
What did you say?
I said the guy just made the scales fall from your eyes to see that this is what you've been worshiping.
We had the one place we called the cathedral.
Yeah, apparently it was literal.
I get it. I wish it would just I mean, we're just out there trying to find them, just like everyone else.
It's all ritual sites.
Yeah, it's all ritual sites. Okay, this is starting to line up way too good.
Yeah, we do have activity on an actual ritual site. So yeah.
So the other happenings, though, why don't you fill us in, Houston, about the zebra, the wild zebra of Tennessee?
I don't think there's much known about it. It's just
I did not hear about this.
So it just popped up on our Facebook the other day, and it was actually, we have one here called McMinnville Chatter, which is just a bunch of the redneck white trash complaining that their DoorDash is late. But
really though, is that what they're complaining?
Yeah. But like it does have some.
Is it Trash Day? That's our Facebook group, like town Facebook group is mostly.
There's some of that. There's some of that in there, but it's always in the winter too. Like, oh, how are the roads? Because it had like spitting snow here. But
storms are coming.
Yeah, the one I saw was in Murfreesboro. Is the first sighting, and this thing was running across 24, which is our interstate that runs across the entire state. And then what has came out now is that it was some homeowner, or not homeowner, but like it didn't come out of a zoo. It was just like this pet owner had this thing and it got out. And they were like, yeah, it's legal to have a zebra here in Tennessee, but nobody's claimed this thing. It was just running across the interstate, causing backups on, the traffic. And now everyone is putting like business marketing stuff out there where they've got an AI zebra like in front of their restaurant. Like Toots had it where they're like, oh yeah, he's been in here. And so
yeah, I saw where they had one where he was working at the Nissan plant in Nashville. And Falcon Rest, like our local plantation It's like a historic plantation that people go to, tourists and stuff. They did it where there was a zebra in front of the plantation house.
It was clever once or twice, and now like everybody's doing it. But as of
I
right
thought
now,
about doing it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I did.
This
Like doing a Bigfoot on a zebra or something like that.
we should. We should do a
don't,
zebra.
don't even explain it though. Just put the picture up and that's it. That would be funny.
Yeah. See you at Wildman Con. You know, like see you at the convention.
Just put the symbol down there.
Now,
And a
Randy,
zebra with a Bigfoot on it.
you have a great track record though of finding these animals and you know, taking care of them. You know, you
Say, who
the
are you looking at
possum,
right now? Like, it's not me.
crow. This would be the ultimate.
I found
Right next
an
to like,
emu.
did
An emu
you?
once. Oh yeah, I tried to catch it, but I couldn't. I couldn't run it down.
A what?
An emu.
Oh,
It's like a
Yeah, like a
ostrich.
full-grown emu was on the side of the road.
I would
And
like to see you try to run this thing down. Actually.
Me and my ex-wife at the time was driving to go to to go to an anniversary dinner and to go out of town, and we're going through the sticks, and like we're on top of the plateau or on top of the rim. We're actually on the Highland Rim, and there's a emu just running down the side of the road, and my ex-wife looks at me and she's like, "You saw that, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I just pull over, and it's still running towards me. So I'm like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna catch an emu." And I go to run towards it, it turns around and goes running back the opposite direction. And like, you cannot, a man cannot run an emu down. I can tell you that much. And there was a little kid on a bicycle that was like coming down the road, and he like the emu passes him, and this kid on the bicycle, he goes, "You're not going to catch it."
Oh,
And
he's
I'm
been
like,
trying.
"Yeah," and I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "It's been wild around here for about 2 years." He goes, it sleeps down there in the woods across the road.
Oh, that's wild.
So
He's watched everybody else. It's like deliberate. Like, people are coming. This is where you're at, man.
Yeah. By the way, welcome to our meet our local dinosaur running
yeah,
around.
yeah.
But yeah, so the zebra has
It's
not been
Mister.
the zebra has not been caught or found as of right now. But I don't. Did you see, Randy, that there was a black bear that got hit by a car the other day, like in Nashville?
Got killed. Yeah.
I don't know the story about that. I just saw like the headline and kept
Yeah.
going.
It said that the what is it, TWRA was basically saying that there had been sightings in that area that people had called in, but nobody had verified that there actually was a bear until someone actually hit it with a car and killed it.
But like they just found it, right? Like they had to do an autopsy. So like somebody hit this thing. It was like a hit and run.
Hit it until it took off. Yeah, they didn't want to get in trouble.
So
Why
it's
is-
like
Would they
I
get in
just
trouble
picture
for hitting a
somebody-
bear?
No, I mean, technically you wouldn't get in trouble as an accident. I mean,
Yeah.
if you were like,
just-
"Fuck you, bear," and you're just going to barrel down, then yes, that would be illegal.
I just wonder if it was at night and they hit this thing and was like, what the crap did we hit? And they just keep going.
Thought they hit a human and just kept going.
Yeah.
But man, that would have to make a hell of a bump in your ear. Bam, to hit a bear.
I mean, they're a big animal.
Yeah, like 150 pounds.
We hit an owl once and that was kind of terrifying. Like it was on the windshield, like spread out. And it was my dad was driving and it hit the passenger
Oh
side.
my
And I
god.
like instinctually like tried to dodge. But yeah, that thing, it was like 4 a.m. and we hit it. And that was loud.
Randy, I just want you to find the zebra and then take it in. You've had the crow, the possum. You've had just the menagerie
Yeah.
of animals. I just feel like this would be the ultimate. Right next to, I have a feeling it's coming.
Just
This
ride
is
him around for now.
my prediction. Some point, Randy will find a mountain lion cub. And he will take that thing in.
Give me a chance. Just give me a chance.
Dude, the ultimate cat.
Yeah. If I found a mountain lion cub out in the wild, I would be. I shouldn't say this. This is probably illegal. I would be very, very tempted to take it.
I know. That's what I'm scared of, is eventually there's going to be a mountain lion that jumps down from the shelf that's behind you and just crash through something. Like, what would you name it?
Oh, I don't know.
feel like you would have a name picked out by now. What
Yeah,
was
I'm
the
not sure.
weirdest? What is the weirdest like animal that you've had?
I've owned an American alligator.
Have you? When did
Yep.
you? How'd you get a hold
When
of
I
one?
was about 16, you could buy them online, or you could buy them through the pet store here.
Oh, all right.
So I bought an American alligator, and she got about 4 feet long, and I had to feed her in the bathtub. And my mom made me get rid of her because I fed her in the bathtub one night, and like went into my room. I left her in there with the food and I let her to eat. Went into my room and crashed out for the night on my bed and forgot about the goddamned alligator that was in the bathtub. And my mom got up the next morning to go take a shower, and she said she opens the shower curtain, and the alligator like they make this like wow sound,
Yeah.
and it made this like wow sound at her, and it freaked her the fuck out. And there was blood everywhere because I had to go in there and clean it up because I would drop mice in there like dead mice,
Yeah.
and she would take them and do this and just like go,
Blood
death roll them and stuff. Right? It's just instinct. But like where she was in that contained space, she would be hitting those mice up against the sides of the bathtub, and there was just like blood spatter. So my mom's like, "You got to get rid of the alligator. No more alligator."
We just skimmed over the 4 foot part. Like I was expecting, like,
Insane.
yeah,
No, fucking
yeah.
child.
When I got her,
size.
she was about 2 feet long when I got her. She got about 4 feet long.
Where did you? Okay, you fed her in the bathtub, but where did you keep her?
I kept her in a tub in the like basement.
Huh.
So
That's a
not where she should have been. Like
no, no. What
having
I'm
kept
just saying.
animals since then,
No, no.
she was not kept healthily.
That's not
She
what
was
I'm
not.
saying. I'm just
No.
saying. I'm like, that's just such a dangerous pet.
Yeah, especially for a stupid kid. Yeah,
How old were you when you got it?
16.
16.
Yeah, I got rid of her when I was about 17.
That
She gained about 2 feet in a year.
What did you do to get rid of her?
I gave her to a friend of mine
put her down in the sewer, man.
because I didn't have any place to put her or any place to take her. And he's like, "I'll take her. She's cool."
Yeah, where do you take something like that?
And I have no idea what she did with her. So yeah, I've had alligators. What else?
Sorry, I'm trying to eat. I had
All
alligator.
kinds of shit.
I wasn't expecting these stories.
I I have to like as I learn more of Randy's lore through these years. I always know there's more. There's more that I just haven't asked the right question yet.
Yeah, like he was just, it was no big deal. It was like, oh yeah, I'll tell you, like, these are the pets that I've had. It's all straight faced. 4 foot alligator with
Her name was
blood.
Mina.
All do what?
Her name was Mina after the chick from Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dates to let you know about like what time period I had this thing. So.
All right. So
I haven't asked the right questions yet. I like that.
yeah, you just gotta know what to ask. Do you get any reports in?
We got in a report we did, yes, actually, finally.
Ding ding ding.
Um, I can't remember the name of the exact creek where it took place, but it's about, what'd you say, Houston? It was about 6 to 7 miles from you?
Yeah, north of me. I can find. Keep talking. I can find the creek if you're.
The gentleman basically found what he suspects was Bigfoot sign, and in the fact that he found a tree that had been uprooted and put upside down, basically back down on the ground.
It's on his
He'd
property.
seen that on
right?
TV and stuff before, so he was like, "What the heck? That looks like the same kind of thing."
But it's also like his property.
Yes.
You know. So like you
Think
can,
Creek.
what is it? Sorry.
Think Creek.
Think Creek.
Which is like I feel like you would notice all of a sudden there's an upside down tree plunged into the ground on your property, you know? That's another big like what the fuck did this
Yeah.
come from?
Yeah, he's got several. He's got quite a bit of wooded property, and there's quite a bit of wooded property next door. I think he said it was about 50, 70 acres total. Um, he suggested to me, he was like, I don't think they're living here. He said, I think they're traveling the creek bottoms because we've got a lot of creek bottoms in this area that go to the lake. They go to Center Hill Lake.
Yeah.
And he thinks they're traveling the creek bottoms basically.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is close to Center Hill Lake. That was actually something I was thinking about when you sent that picture.
They're passing through your backyard, Houston.
I don't know.
Back in
I don't.
Peak.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I just don't think like there's so many nurseries and like open fields around here,
Mm-hmm.
at least around my vicinity. Like it does get more wooded where he's talking about as you get
Yeah.
closer to Center Hill Lake.
Your
But
place
here,
is up right on the wood line, anyways. You got
not really.
yeah. So
I got a
at
little
least you don't have
bit.
to worry about that. They're not going to be
Yeah.
coming up knocking on your door.
Looking for garlic.
Yeah, looking for garlic. Uh, so we have a guest tonight for you guys. Uh, we have a paranormal investigator, Kelly Shaffer, who's also been a guest at our. She was a guest speaker last year for us at the convention.
Yep.
She was a guest as well at the first convention, but she wasn't.
She was a vendor the first
She was a
convention.
vendor. Yeah, she came out
Yeah.
I think she was promoting her podcast, correct?
Promoting her podcast and K2 Paranormal Research.
Mm-hmm. So Kelly's been part of the Wildman Bigfoot, Wildman Crypticon convention since the start, and she'll be joining us tonight. And we're gonna ask her some fun questions about her experiences in the field, because she does what we do, but with ghosts, which is it's something I stay away from. I kind of stay away from the ghost thing. I get freaked out by it. I don't like that not the fact that I'm seeing Bigfoot anywhere, but I'm just saying like the fact that what I'm looking for is definitely invisible. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
And it always
Yeah,
freaks me out when people are like, "Oh, you take something home with you."
Yeah, I find the what is that, the EVP phenomenon,
Yeah.
that I find that creepy as hell. Some of the recordings that that they've got from that stuff.
Yeah.
And I know she's involved with that kind of stuff. So
What is that?
electronic voice phenomenon. It's where you go with, and I'm sure she could tell us, but my understanding is you go with like a little digital recorder and you talk to the room, wherever you're at, the haunted house you're in or whatever, and ask it questions, and then you come back later and
Listen to the recording. It's like I've seen stuff like that. I
yeah,
can't remember the name.
there's certain kind of programs, and it basically enhances
The audio.
what's supposed to be there so that you can hear it better. And I've heard some seriously creepy shit on like some EVP recordings.
The real good stuff.
Yeah.
Not the
I
stuff.
heard one. It was a little girl. It sounded like a little girl at least. And all she said was, "I'm cold," and I was like, oh.
Yeah. I would abandon you guys and join her team in a heartbeat if I have a chance. Just so y'all know that.
What?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. That's more
You
fun.
want to go ghost hunting?
Do what?
You want to go ghost hunting?
Yeah, I'll be down for it.
Okay. Dude, I'm sure she could hook you up.
Yeah.
I'd go do a ghost hunting thing with her.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be awesome.
She lives semi close, right? A couple hours.
She lives in Dixon, where we had the first con.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was why it was kind of wild whenever I was looking for trying to see if we could get interest in that area.
Yeah.
With a paranormal group, and she was the one that came out and was like, "Oh yeah, we're really interested in blah." And I'm like, "Where do you guys live?" And she's like, "We're literally like right next door." So
yeah. I love her. I love her attitude. She's fun.
I sat through her talk at last year's convention. Super fun, super interesting. She went through a bunch of different cases and stuff. Not that I can remember any of them right now, but she did a great presentation.
Yeah.
But
they're gonna have something like about Ask a Witch or something like that at the con this year.
Oh, really?
They're at her table, yeah.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
So,
So come on out to the con so you can ask a witch a question. I don't know what you'd ask them. It could get real interesting. Some of the questions they're gonna get.
in this town, it could get real interesting real fast. Somebody be laying hands on her and
Yeah, I
trying to pray the evil out of her.
know. Let's not do that. Let's not have that happen. Um, I mean, we've gone over all. We've done an episode on all our um, paranormal experiences. And I think that was about it. You. I mean, you had the most, Randy. You lived.
Living at the
You
apartment.
you lived with one.
And Dewey talked about some stuff, the Bell Witch, and
Yeah, we talked about Bell Witch stuff.
we tried to do the Bell Witch.
Yeah, we tried. You know, the looking into it,
We tried poorly.
we tried very poorly. But like, I will say, I'll say this: there's there's not much
No.
to do with it.
So it reminded me now, like, because I went to Florida a couple months ago, and we went to go see the Fountain of Youth,
Mhm.
and we go in there, and it's just like a sulfur spring, like it's nasty water.
Smells like
And
eggs.
yeah, like one of the ladies there, Kayla, asked her, and was like, "Well, kind of like, how do we know this is the exact spot and all that stuff?" And they were like, "Well, like it's all kind of legend at this point." And then, like they started telling this story of like the legend got started because dude lived longer than most people, where the age expectancy back then was like
Was like,
40 or
yeah.
something. And so like he lived longer than that, and like they think this is the area. So it's like it's more morphed out of legend than it is actual like fact. And that's kind of the same thing with the Bell Witch. It's like it's went on for so long now, like so many years,
Yeah.
that the legend has taken on more of the story than
It's
what
got
we
real.
actually know. So
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna find out much anymore, really.
Yeah, I don't think we really laid there.
Yeah.
It's become the legend.
Yes.
Yeah.
When the Fountain of Youth is in America?
Yeah, it's in St. Augustine, Florida.
I always thought the Fountain of Youth was just one of those myths over in Europe.
You're thinking about what is the cup, the Holy Grail.
No. I always thought the
Really?
actual yeah, I thought it was some place in like Italy or some place like that for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I never knew it was here in Florida. Uh,
I drank it. I drank it.
you
You
drank
drank
it?
some of it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what
They had little Dixie cups.
So when we're at episode 5,000 and Houston hasn't
Yeah.
aged, did it taste like eggs? What did it taste like?
Not
Taste like
really.
Heath?
No.
No.
It tasted more mineral, but you could smell the egg sulfur smell.
Mm. I don't know. Those minerals they can do something to you.
Yeah.
I
A little bit
think
of a tourist trap, but I mean, you gotta go. Like if you're
I
there
know.
in that city, you're not gonna go to the Fountain of Youth.
They don't have anything up for the St. Augustine monster down there?
I didn't see anything.
Like on the
But
beach
I
or
mean,
some shit?
we didn't even go to the beach. Like we were there a day and a half. We went to a bunch of pirate. They had an amazing pirate museum down there, though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you gotta when you when you go on vacation and you run a cryptid convention, you kind of have to. You kind of obligated to go to these weird sites, I guess.
I did look. Like I googled to try to see if there was anything, like you said, a monument of whatever. Like I'm sure
Yeah.
there was a book or something, but
Huh. I'm just surprised that they haven't turned it into a tourist thing or something.
yeah.
When did the legend of the Fountain of Youth start? Now that I know that it's in St. Augustine, Florida.
That goes back to like the conquistadors, right?
Really?
Yeah, with uh, this, I can't believe I can't remember anymore because I was just there. Was it? I don't know. I don't remember the guy's name now.
I know it goes back to the early days of like, them exploring Florida.
Early days of Florida. Huh. Must have been fucking dangerous.
Ponce de Leon. That's who it is.
All right. I didn't know that.
What year? Does it say what year?
Likely 1513. Landing site of Spanish explorer. Although no evidence has been found to sustain this claim. Yeah, I mean, like I said, they think it's this area. They have some springs in that area, so it's like they just leaned into the legend.
Watch it. Watch the actual Fountain of Youth be like a small spring that's just in a ditch on the side of the road next to
Yeah.
it.
I don't remember the name of the little short. It was a 30-minute long little movie that came on like after school special back in the 80s. But it was this. It was based around that the Fountain of Youth was in a tree, like where this tree had grown up, and like it had tapped into a spring, and the spring like had collected, up here in the tree trunk.
Mm-hmm.
And if you drank out of the tree trunk, you live forever. And the story like was following this, girl and boy who were in love and all this, and like they promised to drink from the thing and all this stuff, and like when he comes back to drink out of the thing to keep his promise, someone's cut the tree down.
Mm.
So dun, dun, dun.
Where's the tree?
Spoilers, man. Spoilers.
I mean, I never really looked into that legend that much. Just it's one of those things. It's like the Fountain of Youth is like a magic item in Dungeons and Dragons or some shit. Like
Yeah, it's a little outside of the realistic expectations, I guess.
yeah. As I go and search for Bigfoot, a giant ape man in the woods.
They can zap you. Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it's one of those Indiana Jones quest.
Yeah. Get survive the tourist straps.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun. Living forever though. I don't know if I want that.
No.
No,
Why not?
Would not be fun. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm good with that not happening.
Just go live with the Bigfoot at that point.
We're all chipper.
Yeah.
Let it end. We're fine.
Let it end.
All right, I'm adding her right now.
All right, guys, we're gonna bring in Kelly Shaffer. And we're gonna get this interview going.
Come on. There we go.
Some great ghosts.
Totally side topic, but while we were down there, they had this building that I think it used to be maybe it's a college now. I don't. Maybe it was a hotel at first. Thomas Edison wired this thing. Like it was one of the first like it got wired before the White House. And like that was just crazy to me.
Think about that.
Yeah.
There's a point that the White House just didn't have electricity.
Here we are.
There you go.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm in a much better mood now. I just had something come through for me, so I'm like, yes.
Oh, amazing.
Mhm. How are y'all?
Doing well.
Good.
Good.
Can't complain.
Good.
Houston?
I'm good.
I'm just sitting here. That's okay.
Well, Kelly, I want to thank you for coming on and joining us.
You're welcome.
I was explaining before you came in that you'd been part of our convention since the beginning, being a vendor the first year and speaker the second year for us. So I appreciate you coming on.
And I failed at the speaker because I'm not doing that this year. So
That is not good at all.
Randy, why is that? Huh?
That is not
Yeah.
good.
Randy.
We have to revolve our lineup.
okay. I love giving you crap. It's so much fun. No, it's so much fun doing that event. I have a great time there.
It is a good time. I was very, very surprised that we pulled it off.
Every year we're surprised.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
it's like
We're gonna do something different on ours this year. I got a booth, right, Randy?
Of course.
Oh,
yeah, you have
Yeah.
so we're gonna do something different at my booth
You gotta-
this year.
you
We're gonna
gotta-
do.
You got a special guest booth, so you're all good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That happens every time you tell me that, by the way. So we're going to be doing Ask a Witch.
Yes, Randy had mentioned that. I'm
Yeah.
very curious.
So it's going to be kind of like the tarot card reading, but we're going to take you into our little alcove and where you can ask the witch whatever you want to ask her. So, yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's gonna be interesting.
You guys
It will be interesting.
just curious, but do you guys do like past life kind of thingies, all that kind of stuff?
I don't have that talent. I do know people that do, though.
Yeah. Okay.
I can probably find somebody that does do it. Yeah. Yeah.
Randy,
Not everybody's the same.
Yeah.
Randy, you looking into doing that?
Yeah, I would actually do that. I'm just curious.
That'd be
I've got some
interesting.
things, and that I would be curious if it, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
So are we on yet or not? Are we just chatting before
Yeah.
the show or?
We're on.
Oh,
We're
okay.
on.
So getting into past life regressions, I got up to Nevada and drove into Virginia City for the first time and knew every single street, every single road, where people lived, where everything was, about in the 1800s. So I'm thinking that that may have been one of my past lives.
Oh, wow.
They say that the past lives that the areas, the time periods that you're drawn to are the ones that you lived in. The
Oh,
time
man.
periods, the cultures, all of that. That's the stuff that you're drawn to. And
Oh, yeah.
that would be where your higher self is saying, hey, yeah, you did this before.
Oh,
Where
Interesting.
is
That's what
that for
I've
you,
heard.
Randy? I was like, where is that for you, Randy? Like you looked excited.
There's some scary historical spots that that's the case.
oh,
Well, I have the complete vibe off of you, Randy, that you have not lived a peaceful life in many, many, many lifetimes.
I would
This
I
may
would bet
be this may be the most peaceful one that you've had.
Whew,
Yeah.
that's rough.
That's what I feel every single time I'm around you. It's like, whoa. But it's like you've been a warrior, you've been a knight, you've been a fighter, you've been a farmer, you've been an explorer. I mean, you've done all kinds of different things from what the vibes that I get off of you when I see you.
Interesting.
so Kelly, what is your specialty? Like, what is your paranormal investigator? But what do
Being an idiot.
That's what we subscribe to too.
Get along. I do historic hauntings when it comes to paranormal. If it's got some kind of a history behind it, I want to go investigate and see if there's anything that's residual that's coming through, because history and the paranormal run hand in hand. When it comes to the other side of me, the witchcraft side of it, I don't quite know yet because I'm still coming into what I do. I came into it, well, I didn't come into it. I've been a witch all my life, but just accepted the path about 6 years ago.
Okay.
So since then, it's like a crash of information to me and where things are and who I am and what I can do, and it just shocks me every single time one shows up. So
Okay. So how long?
healing's one of them. So
How long? How long? So healing is one of yours.
Mhm.
Okay.
yeah.
How long? What kicked it off for you though to start going down this? To like go into paranormal investigating and
No, it had absolutely nothing to do with the paranormal.
okay.
I had been very depressed and not wanting to keep myself on this plane any longer.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on a trip to go see my kids up in Oregon, and it was a trip that took it was supposed to be a 3 week long trip. So went up there to see the kids, and from the minute I left, and I left on Ostara, and the minute I left, things started happening. Spiritual world started colliding with reality world throughout the entire trip, right down to the last day I didn't want to go home.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I didn't want to go home is because I was in an abusive marriage and did not want to go back to that situation again after spending 3 weeks away from it.
Yeah.
So I decided that I was going to just walk out into the ocean and not be seen any longer.
Mm.
Had it all planned out, was getting ready to get out the door, and the only thing that I can describe it as being is an angel appeared and said, "What do you think you're doing? You got a whole lot more in this life that you have left to do. Look at all the people you've met on this trip. Look at all the things you've seen on this trip. Look at all the things you've experienced on this trip. There's much more coming, and you need to not do this." And I'm like, I'm finally, it whatever that was wrapped its arms around me and just held me, and it felt like I was in this white, warm light all the time.
Mm.
And I it when I asked a few days later as to what, because it did follow me home, it did stay with me for about 3 or 4 weeks until it was sure that I was okay. And I forgot where I was going to go with that part of the story, but it was just it changed my life, because to physically see something like that just was, no, I didn't just see that. Yes, you did just see that. Yes, you did. And yes, it saved your ass. So when I got back to California, to the house, I started looking into witchcraft. I started looking into being a pagan. I started looking into a lot more things about the paranormal that we don't really investigate. It's coincidences, it's energy, it's everything. I mean, everything just started booming in my head. And that's when I became who I am right now. And I'm just growing in that and learning more. And every single day it's a new journey. And I'm interested every single time something happens that is maybe connected, because Jung said there are no coincidences.
Mm-hmm.
So every time a coincidence happens, I'm looking at like, okay, why did that happen? Why was that here? Why, so instead of reacting to I'm more of analyzing everything that's happening to me. And I'm kind of on a different plane than the average person that's out there just traveling their day. So
Okay. So, thank
I
you
know
for
that's
sharing.
that was a long one, wasn't it?
No, it's good
That's
though.
That
good.
was great.
Hey, I wasn't expecting it. That's, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Well, somebody asked me today. She said, I've got another podcast on Friday, and she's like, "What won't you talk about?" And I said, "There's literally nothing I will not talk about."
Okay.
Yeah.
I picked that up from your Facebook post. Which, congrats on the 2 new dogs, by the way. Did you get 2 new dogs?
No, I have one new dog. One new dog.
One. Okay. Okay.
Let's see here.
Oh,
Where is she? There she is. That's Daisy, and then this is, whoops, Gravity. Where is she? Yeah, she's down there somewhere. Anyway, that's Diamond. Yeah. So, well, I got called down to the Humane Society over the weekend, and I'm like, oh, great, here we go. And I said, well, apparently somebody's been talking me up here. I guess you got a dog for me. And they're like, who are you? I'm like, I'm Kelly Shaffer, and AJ called about me. Oh, yeah. So they wanted me to take a deaf dog, but after we got into the yard to walk around and play all that kind of stuff, even though I train my dogs with silent, it's a whole different issue when they can't hear you.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I'm not ready for something like that. I'll just go back to my emotionally disturbed dogs.
Yeah. They will do.
So they said, we got another one. We got another dog that you might like, that needs some help. I'm like, okay, bring her out. And I'm watching her, and she's a good dog. She's a really good dog, but she's traumatized to hell. And I'm like, oh man. I told myself I wasn't gonna do this again. And I'm like, okay. And I start kind of easing myself out of the situation to, just, I'm not ready to rehab another dog. And the director told me the story of the dog.
Oh, that's what got you.
And I'm like, how can I leave her here?
yeah.
So she came home with me, and so did her former owner. And he was here for a few days, and we all believe that he's since left. So
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That kind of form that's
experience at the
Gotcha.
same time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she apparently was with him while he was waiting for people to find him.
Oh.
oh.
And it was about 48 or 24 hours, and when I got her it was 4 days old. So
Oh goodness.
yeah, she was broken. Oh my goodness.
Poor baby.
Yeah, but she's doing good, so good, right?
That's awesome.
Doing so
I
good.
saw where you took pictures where she was under the cover with you sleeping.
That was last night.
Yeah.
I'm laying in bed trying to get comfortable because now I have a new bed hog. And
like all good pets.
she starts scratching at the covers, like they do to get them down so they can get in the covers. And I'm like, oh great, you sleep underneath the covers like my grand dog Crash. So I got a dog that sleeps under the covers now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's also a Velcro dog, and it's my first Velcro dog too.
What's a Velcro?
And she doesn't want to let go of you?
She doesn't leave my side.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, she does not leave my. Well, I guess I did have a Velcro dog with Chloe. But she did have some independence to her. I think maybe as Daisy gets a little bit older, she might have some more independence and won't be so much of a Velcro. But based on what she's experienced, I'm going to give her the pass on it.
Give her a little time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if you don't mind my asking, like, was her owner hanging around to make sure that she was taken care of, or?
Yep. Yeah, I had gotten on a podcast Sunday night with Jay, and I got up to go get something to drink in the kitchen, and I left the camera on and everything. He goes, Kelly, you will not believe what just happened. And of course, we don't have cameras running. There was a mist in your office, and I'm like, you're shitting me.
Right.
I said, I knew he was here. I knew he was here. And so he says, yeah, he's there, and he's hanging around to make sure that she's okay. And he says she's more than okay.
Yeah. Good.
So paranormal experience with the dog.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
But I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen.
Interesting.
The minute I saw her, I was like, yep, he's gonna follow us home, and he did, and okay.
It's kind of sweet.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But I really want to talk to his dad to find out more about the dog, to see if he knows a little bit more, because she's got scars on her forepaws, and yeah. So I don't know when, and apparently it was a long time ago because she's not disturbed by them. So you can do anything to that dog; she doesn't care.
Tough little cookie.
Tough little cookie. Yeah, you can touch her toenails. You can touch her in between her toes. You can mess with her tail. Oh yeah, you can do anything you want with that dog.
Yeah.
She is. She's huge. She's just a big, huge meathead baby.
Yeah. That's the best
With a
kind.
big mouth.
Yep. She has a beautiful smile.
She does, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she sleeps with her mouth open, and her tongue hangs out, and she snores. It's awesome. I heard it the first time, and I was like, "You're definitely a Schaefer then."
You'll fit in good.
I come from a very long, proud line of snorers.
I'm right there with you. So.
Oh, same. Yeah.
Yep.
That's why that's really scare off the Sasquatch.
Right, yeah. We did it at our campsite.
Yeah.
And then there was this time that my dad woke up, and he started grabbing his camera equipment. I'm like, where are you going? Because there's something outside the tent.
Oh.
I was raised in Bigfoot country, so Bigfoot was he was just a normal everyday part of my life.
Exactly.
Where were you raised?
I was raised in the Pacific Northwest in Cottage Grove, Oregon.
Oh, nice. You are. Yeah, that's
definitely. I was in the middle of it. Yep. Yeah, we got. There's a couple of times that I got. Well, of course, it wasn't around the time that we had cameras just plastered to our hands. But I've seen him walk across a meadow from across the lake. I was on the other side of the lake, and I watched him walk across the meadow. I've smelled him. I've heard him. I've been terrorized by him. a bunch of us girls decided to go camping one night up into the hills, just take the motorbikes up there and drop off the equipment, then walk up there. They terrorized us the entire night. We left at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm surprised we made it down to the house. We were about 2 miles out from the house,
What were they doing?
Oh wow.
and we left. They were stomping around the woods all the way around the campsite. They were breaking limbs around us. They were very quiet. But the thing that got me going was there wasn't a single other sound in that woods. There was no crickets. There were no bats. There were no birds. There was no. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
The
you
woods
knew.
just go dead. Yeah.
That
Yeah, it
is a
just goes
scary movie.
dead. Yeah, so they were probably up there from the times that we took the bikes up to drop the equipment off, because when we stopped the bikes, it was dead silence. And I waited thinking, okay, it's just the motorbikes, right? Oh no, the bikes had been off for a half an hour and there was still no sound up there. And I made note of it, and we shouldn't have gone. We shouldn't have gone. And everybody's like, "Oh, it's just the 13-year-old boys. They're trying to." No, it wasn't 13-year-old boys when you hear something that big just crack in half. Nuh-uh.
What 13-year-olds is running around in the dark out there? Way the hell up there.
You're in the middle. You're in the middle of Cottage Grove, Oregon, when it has literally 5,000 people at the time
Yeah.
living there. Oh, there was people in the woods all over the place. Yeah, there could have been somebody running around the hills, but they're not breaking logs that big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
I
that
didn't
was
even
my
know you had a
favorite
Bigfoot.
experience.
I didn't know you had a Bigfoot encounter. That's awesome.
Dude, Bigfoot was my first.
That's
Then
awesome.
went to ghosts.
Bigfoot was the first, yeah. Bigfoot was led me down the rabbit hole and then into conspiracies and all that too. Yeah, Bigfoot was that was the antithesis for me.
I've read all the books on Bigfoot. I buried myself over there. I've read all the books on Bigfoot and just saw all the movies. Yeah,
Nice.
Annabelle out.
So,
Yeah.
so if you don't mind my asking, what do you think Bigfoot is?
I am not into the theory that he's a three-dimensional time traveler. I am more in the earthly based, where he is a creature that we have not discovered yet. And everybody's like, well, somebody could have discovered him by now. But if you're looking at an intelligent creature who has had literally centuries to learn how to stay away from us fucking humans,
Thank you.
they get pretty damn good at it, don't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be just a single natural animal, and that is my point that I stand on. Because if it is an intelligent creature, kind of along the lines of a Neanderthal, because that's kind of what I'm thinking about when I'm looking at what we see as what we see Bigfoot, you know, what we can see.
Description wise, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it more of he's just an intelligent creature along the lines of what Neanderthals were, and he may have been just a different branch.
Yeah.
So they've just learned to adapt very well, avoid humans, and just stick to themselves. I mean, it's literally the world's greatest hide and go seek champion.
I have that T-shirt.
I have it right here on my wall. I looked up at it.
Oh,
And that's where I'm akin with him, because I am the neighborhood hide and go seek champion.
okay.
I used to play in black leotards with a blacked out face,
Just hiding in the shadows.
hiding in the shadows.
Good
I had
ninja
to
on.
find me with that much space between me and them, and I didn't breathe. And they were like, I'm like, I can't believe I didn't get caught. I can't believe I didn't get caught. He's just walking right by me, and like,
So, you Bigfoot kicks it off for you, and you then get into ghost hunting,
ghosts.
ghost investigations.
Yeah.
What was your first big like investigation that you had?
The
like
big one.
Yeah, like a big investigation that. What was the one that you went into going like, I'm gonna do this, but you walked away going, ooh,
That was just recently. That was just a few years out.
oh,
really?
That was a couple of years. I went up and did Randolph County Insane Asylum in October 31st of 2023. And I've seen stuff. I've seen a lot of stuff going on, and it's just, but to actually witness it happening, and be able to get it on camera, that was, oh my God.
Feels good to get it on camera, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I was about ready to faint. There was a guy standing behind me holding me up as I was videoing it or taking pictures just to make sure I didn't fall over. Oh yeah.
So,
I went, wow.
so what led you to this investigation, though?
I was invited up as an guest investigator, and I'd never gone up. I'd never investigated on Halloween.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
There's
So
on Halloween.
there we go. I'll go do Halloween. So I dropped Diamond off at her dad's, and off I went, and it was just a blast. We had a good time, and when we got down into that basement, and I'd taken the thermal camera that Jim Corley had just bought, my resident skeptic, and I said, let me try it out. So I had no idea how I was supposed to use it, and I am shocked I got the pictures I got. It's I had no idea what I was doing, and I got a small snippet of a couple of seconds of a video, and then I got about 4 or 5 pictures out of it
So what happened?
of what happened. Okay, so what happened was we were in the basement, and I had the thermal camera, and we're looking down. It's a very, very long hallway that goes down the entire length of the building,
Mm-hmm.
on the bottom floor. And I'm filming down the hallway, and I see this black column come down into the picture, and I'm like, oh no, I broke the camera. No, that black stripe started going like this and made 2 columns. I'm like, oh, this is getting interesting. So I'm looking down the hall, and I'm like, is there anything down there? And they're like, there's nothing down there, Kel. And I'm like, well, there's something on my camera. There's nothing down there, Kelly. There's nothing down there. And the 2 black columns then became white columns, and they started to form the shapes of human beings. And the final picture that I have of this entire process is it looks like 2 investigators at the end of the hall with flashlights.
Interesting.
And there's nothing down the hallway.
Huh.
Hmm.
Remind me when you see me in August, and I will show you the pictures.
Oh,
Or
absolutely.
I'll send them. I'll send them off in the chat. I'll send them off in the chat. Yeah, and you can post them if you want. It's just it was yeah, oh.
So you
And
saw
then
it kind of materialize through the camera.
I
Then.
saw it materialize through the camera. I watched it completely form into what it was. I had to stop because they started walking towards us. And I just stopped. I'm like, okay, this is not I'm overwhelmed already. And yeah, it was beginning to when I said, okay, that's enough. And yeah,
And this was an old asylum, you said?
there was an old asylum, yeah.
Oh, nice.
But there has been reports of a crawler, which is the black masses that crawl on ceilings and stuff like that. There'd been a report of a crawler.
Oh, I don't like.
And I'm
Yeah, I didn't like
yeah,
that.
I didn't like that
I'm
name at
yeah,
all.
I'm not a big believer that they even exist,
Mhm.
but you never know based
Yeah.
on the stuff I've seen. Then
Yeah, you don't believe they exist, but you've seen some
but
stuff.
I've seen some stuff. And then there's another thing that they've got a doppelganger up there too. And in my opinion, the entity that I met that day was more of a doppelganger than it was anything else because it was imitating.
Okay.
Is that what the doppelganger that they encountered do?
Yeah, doppelgangers imitate. They imitate. Absolutely imitate.
Interesting.
Huh.
And I don't know if I believe the legend of if you see your doppelganger, you'll die. I've seen 2 doppelgangers now. 2 things acting like 2 doppelgangers acting like people. Well, one was a person I knew, my brother. It looked just like him. Absolutely, hands down, 300 ways. It was my brother. And went upstairs, and he was in the hotel room, gray in bed. And that was one thing that they've reported when doppelganger is taking on the other spirit, the other one loses the life one loses energy and looks gray. I just read that a few weeks ago. So I'm pretty sure that one was a doppelganger, but that was at a hotel that Zach Baggins saw the doppelganger too and didn't chase it down. Of course,
Really?
he was, he's one of those world-class investigators, right?
Casting shade. I love it.
Look.
I'm probably banned from his museum, but I could care less.
Yeah, I started seeing that his show is still going. Still
Oh, cow.
new season. Like season 53. I'm not trying to crap on the man, but like the well, yeah. I've seen too many funny videos from his show. I can't take him seriously now.
I met him early on and didn't like him then, don't like him now. So
I really loved the original documentary for like Ghost Adventures.
Come to find out, they faked that one too.
God dang it.
Yep. I found that out about a year ago. I've read the paper on it. It was like, God damn it. Because I really wanted that brick to have been flying.
Exactly. That
I
was
wanted it
wild.
flying.
Now I want to know
Yeah.
how they did it.
I don't know. Maybe there was somebody behind it. I'm picturing it in my head. And when I was down in that area, it had already been. They were revamping the gold. Which hotel was that? Gold Hill, I think. No, it wasn't Gold Hill. Goldfield. It was the Goldfield one because Goldfield's flat. Goldfield Hotel down in Nevada, and they were rehabbing that one, and they had already changed the area that the brick was, so I couldn't even recreate it when I got there.
That's so disappointing now.
It was so disappointing
because the original documentary that got him the show it's really good. It's well put together. But isn't that the same one they got the full body apparition? That's the documentary that like kind of got their fame, right?
I don't know. I'd have to go back in and look.
Yeah,
I don't remember that. Didn't they have like 4 shows that they did on the first series?
Yeah, they did like 4 different.
It was
shows.
4, right? Yeah. And I haven't watched them again since I saw them the first time. Oh. That would be too funny to do. I should do that this weekend. Binge the first 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Kelly, I wanted to ask you, Kelly, how often, I'm going by what I've read online and like people in different groups that we belong to where they've talked about this. How often do you come in contact with dark entities?
You mean the ones that start with D?
I mean, if you want to use that word.
Maybe.
All right. So here is my standing point. Here's the point that I will stand on until the day I die. The chances of having any kind of demonic activity is less than 0.1%. Notice the point in front of the 1, less than 0.1%. One of the hallmarks of having an infestation of demonic activity is that nobody's talking about it. Not the victims, not the people that are in the family. Nobody's talking about it. It's outside people that are talking about it, but notice it. Demons are a Christian development. The Christians formed. Hey, okay, guys, it's okay. Christians formed the demon. So the demon comes from the Bible. And if you read the Bible, you'll find that the devil does his work in secret. He is not going to sit around telling everybody, he's not going to let his victim, I should say, tell everybody, oh, look at me, I'm demon possessed. I'm demon possessed. I've got a demon attached to me. It's a demon. No. No.
Okay.
I've been close to 3 different episodes that ended up being nasty energies, but at no point would I ever deem them demonic because they were just nasty.
Oh, so are they just like negative energies?
They're just negative energy, yeah. That's it. Because if you've got somebody in life, I've got neighbors going around over here. If you've got somebody in life who's just a crab apple and he doesn't, it's get off my lawn or I'll shoot you kind of, he's going to be that way in death. He's not going to become some really nice guy and give you cookies when you come into his house. No, it's get off my fucking lawn. And he's going to be not very nice at it. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm not worried when it comes to negative energies because there's not a whole heck of a lot that they can do to you. They're just a bundle of therapy that needs to be happening before they die, and they didn't have it.
So what do you just get these negative energies that like say, someone passes in a house, they're the crab apple guy that you're talking about. They just refuse
Yep,
to leave because that's their house.
that's their house. Yep.
How do you get them to leave finally?
You have if it's an energy that's willing to communicate with you. Sometimes you can convince them that, look, you're dead. We need to move on.
Real quick, how often do they not know they're dead? Is that like a common thing where they're completely just oblivious to being dead?
I don't know. I honestly haven't found one yet that I've had to ask it to. Most of them have already they know they're dead. So I don't know why could it be that I don't know.
Or they don't know how to move on, in a sense.
Or they don't know how, well, see, now there's another thing that I don't believe that us humans in our human frailties and imperfections have the ability to cross people over. I've sat there and watched the cemetery where people knew that there was a public event going on, and I sat and watched this one cemetery with this one grave where, oh, we're going to help pass them on, and their spirits are so troubled, and yeah, whatever. And they're like, the spirits are interacting with them, right? And so they do the crossing over, and the spirits do all of their little theatrics throughout the whole crossing over thing. And the crowd goes wild. They're clapping, yay, we got them all crossed over. Everything's awesome. They walk off to the next little place that they had to go. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there watching the spirits at the grave laugh their asses off because they did it to another group.
That's a way to pass the time, I guess. It's just like
way to pass
the ghost into
fucking around with people, So yeah. I go ahead.
I'm genuinely curious, like how long does a human stay?
I don't know.
A ghost.
I mean, you've got people who back in England, you got people that have been around since the 1400s. So now we got to start getting into the conversation of why are there ghosts, and are they ghosts, or are they just time periods that are crossing and coming into contact with each other? What is it? If it's two time periods crossing into each other, then that explains the regularity of it. But why are there ghosts? If we could answer that question, we'd have $1 million in our petty cash.
Yeah, right. Well, it's like the ghost in Gettysburg. You can always see, like, it always passes. It keeps repeating.
Oh man, those guys are so cool. I got to see those.
And it's like, it's just on a loop. Just
and it's on a loop, and it's residual energy.
Is it just time stamped into our reality?
Yep, time stamped into something. Yeah. Well, Tennessee's built on limestone. Limestone's a huge recorder.
Yeah.
And that's probably why there's things here in Tennessee that I don't see anywhere else. Do you know what phantom fires are?
No.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Phantom fires are not. They pop up out of the ground. It looks like a fire in the middle of the ground. It looks like a fire, and then it just disappears. And I was sitting the first time I saw it. I was only a few months in Tennessee, and I asked the person that was next to me. I said, "So, what's the deal with the fire that keeps popping up out of the ground?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know, not even paying attention to me." Yeah, right. It's been doing that forever. That's kind of the feeling I got. So I'm like, okay, well, they're used to it. So I guess, okay, I sure hope somebody tends to the fires. And this one big, huge fire lit up. And I'm like, oh, wow, I sure hope somebody's tending that one. Oh, there goes the guy. Oh my God, there's half of him. And they're running.
Oh wow.
So where was this? I know you said Tennessee, but
Coleman Cemetery in Coleman Cemetery in Murfreesboro.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And it the phantom fires, I don't see those anywhere else.
Huh.
And I don't know if I don't know why fire has imprinted on Tennessee's history. Maybe it's because of our love of bonfires or something like that.
It was
I
the
don't know.
moonshiners.
The moonshiners are, well, I was thinking the Civil War campfires,
Oh yeah.
because the ones that I was seeing in the cemetery were little tiny ones that you would light up at night for just a little tiny bit of cooking. The one that I saw outside the cemetery fence was huge. It was like somebody had a bonfire.
The Cherokee, Muskogee, Choctaw, and Chickasaw used to share the area that we're in here near McMinnville as hunting ground, and they actually used to burn. They would burn this whole region down. That just got me thinking about this for hunting purposes. The grasslands.
Wow.
So
That's awesome. Yeah, that could be. I mean, it could go way back to the Native Americans and their fires. It could be just that. I mean, who knows? I don't know, but I've never seen it in any other state in the union.
Interesting.
Was that like at night or like this? This is close to me and Randy actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I was at
Like,
night.
it's on our side of Murfreesboro. It's like in between that and Woodbury, so it's close to us.
Oh, is it?
That's that. Yeah, if you mentioned Woodbury, you've got the right one. There's two of them apparently, but don't go in there at night. Don't go in afterwards. I called to do an investigation again because I went on another guy's investigation. Apparently, we were in the cemetery illegally, and the owner does not allow for paranormal investigations, and he will have you arrested if he finds out. So
That is I've noticed though most of us that do this weird type of investigation, a lot of the times we end up having to do some trespassing.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I try not to. I really do. I don't do the abandoned buildings because I'm just not. I mean, shoot, I'm 62 years old. I'm not going to go out into the middle of an abandoned building and
That's
try
fair.
to make myself I'm no longer in that shape, people. I'm in my queen status.
I've heard there was an interesting, I forget where I heard it. It was like another podcast. They were talking about an investigation, a paranormal investigation that had happened, and the investigators came back kind of being like, we felt like we were talking to someone on the other side, but they were like, we weren't talking to ghosts or anything in this reality. We were talking to another reality, and they were ghost hunters in their reality, communicating, and to them, we were the ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of like in my head went.
Well, that's when you're starting to talk about timelines crossing and coming into contact. And
So are a lot of the historical places that you go and do your research? Do you think that's what's happening? Is that it's timelines maybe?
I'm more along the lines of timelines crashing. I'm more along the lines of quantum physics are going to be doing a lot of some of the work for us and figuring this out because they've proven 12 realms. So who knows how many other timelines are out there? How many timelines are out there? And yeah, this conversation could go on forever. And we get into what is the soul? We get into where does the soul go after it dies?
Oh, we've had those
This
discussions.
is a huge conversation.
Where do you think it does?
Where I think it does, I think it goes back into the collective universe.
See, the absolute.
Getting ready for its next life, or whatever it's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Randy's next
I don't
miserable life.
What's that?
I said Randy's next miserable life.
No, he's redeemed himself. He's earned his right to Valhalla.
Yeah.
And this is his Valhalla.
Oh God!
Looking for Bigfoot? You're looking for Bigfoot. Because most times we're out in the woods, Randy will look at me and go, "What are we doing?"
I'm sure there's a lot of people that ask that of us.
Oh yeah. I would like to meet me on another timeline, come over and him being like, "You're looking for Bigfoot?" Like, come on, man.
What do you do in your spare time?
Yeah, like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, my work is very enthralled with my pastime. I'm not. I look at him going, it's not a hobby, people.
Yeah, yeah. At
It's
least
a
for
lot
you.
more than a hobby.
Yeah, at least for you. Me,
Yeah.
this was a like a film project, and then here I am, ten
Here you
years
are.
later, 12 years later now.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be seeing those things. Well, there you are. It's got to be seeing things that shouldn't be there. And that's kind of what I do when I go into investigations. I'm not looking for ghosts. I'm looking for what shouldn't be there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What's wrong? What is out of place?
Do you get
So,
contacted a lot to come out and investigate by like
mhm,
private citizens, like
yep,
basically be like,
we do a lot of private investigations. We love doing privates.
Oh,
it's a good one.
see what you did there. Yeah, I remember. How many? It was a few months ago. Whenever you
Yeah,
referred
the
me to
Dogman one.
Dog
That
Man
was an
guy. Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, that was an interesting case. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, tell us
I
about that
wanted
one.
to ask you, what do you think about EVPs?
EVPs are great, but one thing that I'm finding as I'm talking to people about EVPs is they lose their quality, and I don't know why that is. It's like one day you'll listen to it and you hear it absolutely clear as day, and the next day you listen to it and it's not there anymore. That's one thing that I'm finding weird about EVPs right now. So, I don't know where that's going. I
Oh,
have no, it was just a weird thing I noticed as I was listening to EVPs. It's like I always go back before I show the client, is that EVP there? Can the client hear that EVP without me going, listen to it from here to here, and it's going to say exactly this. It's going to
yeah,
say, excuse me.
yeah,
Yeah. Don't tell me what it says. Don't tell me what I'm looking for. I'll find it.
yeah.
So, so I always listen back on them. Some of them listen going, I have no idea about that. And then you also have to realize that EVPs are not only recordings of humans, they're recordings of animals as well. I have a 9-minute EVP of a cow in distress giving birth.
Whoa.
Like,
That,
hold on, like a
Nine
cow. Wait, hold on.
that
Did you just happen to catch a cow like over here, or you're talking
I was
a phantasmical cow?
I was investigating a barn that had been converted to an event site. It was in the barn that I got it was back in the milking room where I got it. And I called up the owner. I said, "Are you running cows still?" She goes, "Oh, there hasn't been cows out here forever." I'm like, I
you
got
want
a
to hear this?
EVP for you. Yeah, right. I hear this.
That's
Apparently they're doing ghost farm.
and just that alone of just like you got a lot of animal like EVPs, and I've heard a lot of investigators talk about having interactions with like ghost animals in their
I get them
investigations,
all the time.
and that 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 makes you think a little bit more about
Hmm.
your pets and stuff. Like,
Yeah, my first dog Chloe came back after she passed. She even visited my son while he was stationed in Iraq.
Wow.
huh?
Yeah, she had a very distinctive collar sound, and he messaged me one morning and said, "Mom, Chloe was here last night." And I'm
Hmm.
like, okay." So, and that was before I even hunted ghosts.
Wow.
Yeah.
My grandfather had a dog. It was a collie that died when my father was young. And my father, I heard the story from my father and my grandfather both about how there was one night when there was scratching at the door, and this is what this collie would do whenever it wanted in. They went to go open the door, and the dog wasn't there, and they found him like just about a couple hours later, where he had died down at the road.
Oh my goodness.
But like both of them verified that happened at the same time. I always thought that was wild.
Wow, that's impressive.
So
There.
on your investigations, you've done EVPs. Have you done like
Mhm.
the ghost box? Is that what it's called?
Yes, yes, yeah. Ghost box, spirit box.
The spirit box, yeah.
There's so many different forms of it these days. Um, when it comes to electronic equipment, I've pretty much broken away from a lot of it because there's so much measure for error in them, and clot and just not right. But yet, then you have the spirit box sessions that actually make sense. You have the ones where you've got your dog at the investigation and the things coming out of the person with the EVP or with the headset on for the Estes session is pretty dog, pet the dog. And I asked them what my dog's name was, and they said Diamond. And I said, what's my dog's short name? And they said Die. And then the big one was, okay, what color is my dog? And it said white. And I said, okay, smart ass, what's the second color of my dog? And there was a pause. And I'm like, oh, we're not going to get it. We're not going to get it. Gold. And I looked down, and in the red light of my flashlight, her brown looked gold.
Huh.
So then you get those sessions, and then you get the weird sessions like the one I got at South Pittsburgh. And we've not released, I don't, ooh, maybe they released it last week. I'll have to look. Where we were down at South Pittsburgh, and the people in the Estes session who were asking the questions stopped asking questions because the people who were under the headsets, myself and another person, were having a conversation between each other. We couldn't even hear each other. We had no idea who we were talking to, but we were conversing together.
I've been
Oh,
part of
wow.
a
And that happened at 4 different locations with 3 sets of people. And I got to witness both sides. I got to be under the headset and be one of the ones that was involved in the communication stuff.
Mhm.
And then I also got to witness it between 2 people. And that was the weirdest thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. They were talking to having a full conversation.
They were
but they didn't even
talking to
know.
each other. Yeah. They didn't even know. Mm-mm. And with me, with the one with the second one that we had done, the girl that I was talking to, when I was taking off the headphones because I had to get out, I had to take a break. She was going, Kelly, 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 as if I was, come back and talk to me a little bit more. But
Wow.
it was freaky. It was just awesome, awesome and freaky and unreal and just anything. It's the things like that that keep you going.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep.
It's when you find that wood structure out in the woods, you're like, yes,
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Feels real good. I was
Hear that
part
wood
of
knock every years. Yep.
yeah,
I was
the
part of
wood knocking.
Estes session. I was the camera guy for one, and we
Hmm.
did it up in Bridgewater, Massachusetts, in the Bridgewater, what's known as the Bridgewater Triangle, up by me. Um, and I had never known what this was until this time. We do this session deep out in the woods, and I'm the camera guy. Okay.
Hmm.
So I'm just trying to get nice shots and make it look good. And eventually the guy who was running it, we had a set of twins, and they were the ones that were under.
Oh,
And it was just the 4 of us out there. And I'm just recording. He does his whole thing. He's a druid, so he was doing all these offerings and such. Had us all kind of do it. Um, and then we started the Estes session, and it got to a point he was like, he goes, I was kind of the skeptic in the whole thing, and he was like, well, you start asking questions, and I was like, okay. And it just got really, really freaky how quick they
hmm,
were answering and how precise they were answering, and like,
yeah. And then you get the garbage ones. You
yeah.
get the ones that mean nothing. And I don't rule them out. I really don't, because what made that happen? What made that significant thing happen?
Mm,
Where, they know what's going on. They know they can talk through that. And of course, you can, I, it blows me away. It just blows me away.
yeah, it's like weird watching it on like a documentary or something like that, and then like actually going and doing it. And I walked in being like, we're not getting anything. Like
Mhm.
I don't think this is. And then 2 hours in, and I'm like looking at the other guy. I'm like, are we getting out of here? Like, are we leaving?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is getting real weird, man.
Yeah, it's weird. The first investigation I had a couple, Gil, I did it. I always mix their names up, Gage and Jill, and I always do it Gil and Jage. Don't know why, but Jill and Gage came on an investigation with me the first time, and I mean, Gage was a complete skeptic. He wasn't going to see anything. And I had no idea. Well, I did know that this was a very special location, but it heated up for us that night. And he saw himself his first full bodied apparition on his
Oh,
first investigation.
oh, nice.
And yeah,
Oh, wait.
he's that. Yeah, he won't. Yeah, there's no way he's going to stop now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
it just,
that's the get the hook
it's
shit.
weird. This whole field, and everybody can say, "Oh, it's a distraction," and you're all making it up. I'm sorry. There's 4 billion people. Well, was it 4 billion or 2 billion? I can't remember how many billions it was. Was it a billion or is it in millions? I don't know. Somewhere, lots of people.
Yeah.
Lots of people of many, many different walks of life and many, many different education values. We all believe the same thing.
Hmm.
You can't tell me that this doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Are we all having mass hysteria? I don't think so.
Yeah.
And there's too much evidence too. There's a lot of
There's too much
very
evidence.
credible recorded documented cases, and it's just it is kind of like there's probably some private company that has like full bore like investigation into stuff.
Oh,
They're like, we know
absolutely.
exactly what's going on right now. But it's like,
Right?
oh, I'd love to know though. I want to know more
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
why it's happening.
I can't stop. I thought about it. I can't do it. There's no way. I'd go insane if I had to stop doing this.
So what do we have to
Either
do to
that
go
or the
with you?
universe just say you want to go.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
You
Already
Now I gotta find
When he came on, he was like, I want to go on one.
Yeah, I was like, I will abandon you guys.
Houston
Yeah,
said he
I
would leave 40 in Tennessee to go join your team. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna leave Bigfoot and go join the paranormal stuff. And I was like, okay.
I'm considering doing Brushy again this year if I can get it booked.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So,
So
I got
I'm
another
considering
question.
it.
Another question for you, Kelly. And this is obviously just your opinion, but
Yeah.
based off of like you were saying earlier, how there are literal places in England going back to the 1400s that are haunted.
Mhm.
Some of those by individual ghosts that are seen over
Yeah.
and over and over.
Yeah.
This is a two-part question. Um,
Okay.
do do you got in places like that? Do you generally get good EVP kind of stuff, or or
Maybe
does it seem like that's usually the kind of like it's history repeating itself sort of thing?
it's it really depends on it's not the same for every place. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Every time it's different. It's like it's
I'm just wondering if
every
they go
time.
get EVPs from one of these places, like one of these taverns in England, and they're getting like my lord and all this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, they're getting stuff like that. Oh yeah,
Oh,
they're getting different. Yeah, there's we've also gotten different languages too. And
nice.
a lot of people talk about, well, how can you ask the question in English when you're in France and they're going to respond in French or they're not going to understand you? And I'm like, there's a line of thought going down that one that language translates after death. I don't know. It's a good theory. I don't see any evidence on it. So I would say if you're in a country that speaks another language, you're going to have better results if you speak that language.
Okay.
So, and the I don't know why things last a long time in another place. And well, there's places here in this country that date back to then too, because the white people were not the first ones here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So there's places haunted here, like for the Navajo uh pueblos, they're haunted.
Oh really?
Yeah, that I can see the ghosts just looking at the pictures.
Nice.
And then you've got the 1700s, the 1500s. White people have been here since the 1500s. So,
Okay, and the second part of my question is, and this is weird. What, like, when you get people that die, you get these, and you get like negative entities or whatever, sticking around a place.
mhm.
Generally, like, does it seem like they're kind of contained in the area where they died, or do you find places like where, like, some big asshole died, and then he, at the VA hospital, and then he ended up back home to terrorize his family or something?
I tend to be with the people who believe that the hauntings occur at the place where the most energy has been left.
Okay.
So if the most energy that has been left is at the house, the spirit's probably going to return to that house. If they don't know where to go after they've died, they're probably going to stay in the hospital. It's not where you died. That's absolutely not the fact. It's not
Okay.
where they died. It could be, like, for instance, when I die, I could be haunting the house I was born in Cedar Rapids. So,
Some
or I
place
could
that
be
you
haunting
spend a
the,
lot of time.
yeah, yeah, or else I could be hunting, or I could be camping out in the woods with Bigfoot for the rest of my life. I don't know. I don't know.
I'd go. I'd go.
Um,
I'd go be a poltergeist to a Bigfoot family just to
oh,
get
that's
back.
We've got a ritual site here outside of town that
yeah.
dates back to like 7,000 years, and like I when I go, I want to be cremated and left there, right? And
Ooh, I
like,
like it.
is there a good chance I'm going to get stuck there or what?
That might be nice.
No, you're not
No,
gonna get stuck there. No,
I love that area.
you can make yourself be stuck there. Just do it.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah,
You gotta
What do
tell
you mean,
me
just
where.
do
I
it?
can go find you.
yeah. I don't even know what I want to do. I'm like, just put me on the back of a motorcycle and open up the box.
Down 24.
Yeah, I go. Yeah,
Rooster tailing.
Yeah.
first. Yeah, so yeah, my dad's here with me. He's been here for a while. He's been a little quiet lately. Um, my grandmother's been here, and they didn't die here. I do have my dad's ashes, so there is that, and I do have a few of his things that didn't get destroyed by my. Anyway,
Does it seem like spirits hang out with their ashes?
no,
No,
no.
I don't know if they ever hang out with their
Because
remains or.
the spirit leaves the body before the ashes are even before the body's even put into the oven.
Yeah.
The spirit has already left the body. And I have met people that believe that the body has its own life force to it, but it's the spirit that's running the body, and the spirit leaves. It leaves after it's dead, and they've measured a difference in the body from before death to after death, and that's where they get the 24 ounces or 22 ounces or 21 ounces, something like that.
I was about to say, like, the body loses
Yeah.
weight at the moment of death.
Yeah. Yeah. So, in my opinion, the body is just simply a meat machine,
Vessel?
a
A vessel?
vessel. It's a vessel. It's a
There
meat
you go.
machine.
Damn
It's
it.
whatever. Yep. And when I die, when I die, I'm going to be gone, and it's just going to be a body. Do whatever the hell you want to do with it. I don't care. And I'm thinking about having it donated to the body farm down in Knoxville, I think.
Yeah.
So it just really it doesn't bother me. Yeah, it, my spirit's the only thing that matters.
So you're basically telling me that after I die, if I wanted to, I could hang out at that ritual site and be like the new cryptid.
Yeah.
You could. The Randyopolis.
Yeah.
Oh,
Randyosaur?
sounded-
Randosaur. It's the Randosaur.
I
At least
feel
I
like
know where to
that's
find you.
something you was actually really worried about, though. Like you were concerned and wanted to like get reassurance from her.
You can do whatever you want. You're dead.
I just want to be able to fly
all right.
around.
Local cryptid, here I come.
There you go. Yeah. You can do whatever you want. You're dead. You don't have any time limits. You don't have to come in and the streetlights go off. Stuff like that.
You can
What
really
site
freak people
do you
out.
want to be at?
Huh?
What's that?
What site are you wanting to be at?
The obelisk, man.
Okay.
Just chilling out there, freaking out people.
It's just far enough away from people that I don't have to deal with people, but it's just cool enough that people will come and I can scare the shit out of them.
That's
There
good.
you go. Just enough people. That's it.
Just
See,
enough.
I cannot believe that you even survived this Paracon. I'm so glad we're not doing 2 days anymore, because the second day you were ripped. You're like,
Oh man.
anymore.
Yep, it was rough.
Rough days at the convention, huh? It's funny.
Yeah, I get home from those conventions and it's like I gotta be away from people for at least 3 days.
Yeah, because
Hey, y'all didn't
Last
have
year-
one of your toddlers running around, and you was having to watch a toddler the entire time. So,
Been there, done that. It's your turn.
right.
Yeah, mine ran from me when I was in a cast. So
Oh, that's
there you go.
That's fun.
Yeah,
That's fun.
and laughed the whole time. My kids are demons.
The real ones, yeah.
Yeah. So
Was
anyway,
Randy, you had another question that you wanted to
I like more questions.
You had posted it in the group chat before we even started.
I think it was about demonic possession, but she said she already brought up the her thoughts on demons. So
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I don't. Yeah.
So Randy's original question, because I have like kind of an offshoot of it. Oops.
How many monitors do you have?
I have multiples. I have 2.
How many?
I have 2
Oh, okay.
massive ones. I have
Okay.
2 very big monitors.
See, I'm thinking about putting in another 2.
oh dang.
Either 2 or a big one in the middle.
Where is it? Randy, your original question was, in your opinion, Kelly, on how prevalent demonic possession is in the Bible Belt. Now,
Oh yes, yeah. Specifically in the Bible Belt, yeah.
And to kind of
the Bible Belt's interesting.
Yeah, how much, like you said, it's like 0.1%, right? For
less than 0.1%.
Less than 0.1%. But how many are you getting that are like, it's demons? Like we have
None.
possession. Oh, okay. I was just, like that was a good question.
And I do work for churches.
Mhm.
If churches have somebody that says they're demon possessed, I'll go out and I'll investigate it.
Is it generally just mental illness people are dealing with? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. I've not come across a single real case ever. The mostly it's just people with mental illness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I was
Poor
younger,
things.
I always thought that being in the Bible Belt, I mean, I hate to say this, but like that mentality breeds that kind of mental illness. When you're raising your children to be like, yeah, there's demons and monsters, and they're waiting for you into your bed, and
Welcome to living in a cult called the Southern Baptists or whatever they are, whichever one it is that's now in the Belt.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's for me. I'm very much against organized religion, and for me, it just organized religion is out there to change your mind and make you believe like the collective, and I just don't. No, I'll keep my private. I'll keep my individual thoughts. Thanks.
Yeah.
So I am too.
That being said, you did believe that it was an angel.
Yeah, it's the only way I can describe it.
Okay.
It's the only to me it was a very white light. To me it was a very white light in a mass, like an illuminated mist, and it wrapped around me. And the only way I can describe it to people so that they can grasp the concept of what was happening is to describe it as an angel.
Angelic, yeah.
Because that's what people, I mean, they see angel, oh, angel,
Yeah.
Yeah, it did not have the shape of an angel. It did not have, it was white and it was a woman, but she had long hair, And she explained, oh, I remember where I was going on that one. She explained to me later on, a few days later, I asked who she was, and she explained that she was a mother from another lifetime.
Hmm.
Oh, cool.
And I mean,
So apparently she was the emergency phone call.
send her in.
Send her in. She's about to go in there.
You gotta stop her. I mean, that
I've
movie.
read. What are your thoughts on? I've read a lot of the reincarnation theories where you reincarnate with like your family and the same people over and over.
That's what the current belief is that the people that you are in contact with now, the people that are in your life now, because we all have NPCs, right?
Mhm.
There's NPCs everywhere in the world. The
Oh, yeah.
people that are actually interacting with us and being a part of our lives are the people that travel with us every single lifetime. And that's the current belief.
That's interesting.
I'm still trying to figure out how that happens, seeing how we've got ancestral lines, but the body's been here, the other bodies have been here, so I guess they set a record down.
Yeah.
So you've been at odds with Gato every single lifetime, right?
You guys have been fighting forever.
Yeah, and that people play different parts in your life. In different lives, they play a different role. Like for instance, my father could be my brother in another lifetime, or my father could be my husband in another lifetime, or my best friend could be my sister in another. They all play different roles, but they will all travel with you, and that's why you find them when you're in the next life. Remember, it's like, how did I find you? You're like so much like me. And that's the reason why, is because the frequencies that we put out are the same, and we're attracted to those frequencies. And so we find each other by frequency.
I've had in my life two experiences that were meeting somebody and both of us looking at like meeting for the very first time ever,
Mhm.
and both of us being like, I know you. And
Mhm.
this happened, and it was the freakiest thing. I went to a wedding, went to the did the whole wedding thing. I was someone's plus one. We go to the after party, and one of the bridesmaids was there. I didn't even see her at the wedding. She was one of the bridesmaids, but I wasn't really like paying attention to who the bridesmaids were until we were at the after party and we were like all talking. But we like immediately locked eyes, walked up to each other, and I was like, where have we met? And she was like, yeah, I know. Where have we met before? We spent the rest of the party on our Facebook to everything. Like, I mean, to the point of like, where were you this year? Like, or that year?
Wow.
Such, and like, cause we both had memories of like knowing each other. We were so comfortable with each other immediately, but we both had
That's
this
one that
sense.
that's had to be one that was extremely close on your last life.
Yeah, it was real weird. And it was the only time like we met that one time. I've never seen her again. But like,
Wow.
we spent the whole night literally trying to figure out, we had no mutual friends. Like that was the other freaky part, because it was like, do you go to these things? Do you do this? Maybe I saw you at a convention. Nope, nope, nope. Do you know that? Nope, nope. On
Wow.
both sides, but we like knew stuff about each other, like weird, like just like like what's your color, or like your favorite food, or we just knew how to act around each other too. It was,
Oh, that's weird.
yeah,
That's
it was
really
freaky.
weird. That's really weird. Well, they also say that the scar that you have on your scars that you're born with, your birthmark,
Mm-hmm.
the birthmark that you're born with is the death blow of your previous life.
Okay.
So anyway, so we did the Cemetery Files. We just did an episode on Monday night. Sunday night, Sunday night. We did an episode, just an one-off episode, just us chatting and doing one of our weird little theories thing. But I'm mostly doing guest shots right now rather than a weekly shot, because I've got too much going on,
Mm-hmm.
and last week showed, and I just yeah, I like doing the podcast, I really do, but it gets to be kind of boring saying same things over and over
Oh
and
yeah.
over and 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 over again. Yeah.
I mean, I
So
find myself
yeah.
repeating the same story every few
Yeah, it's like,
episodes.
yeah. And I could just go, yeah, the story's in the book. Go read it.
Yeah, do you want to pimp your book?
Yeah, you want to promote?
On
My
Amazon,
book.
right?
I got one. I got the first book. Let's see. Hold on here. Oh, ouch. So we got the first book. There we go.
Awesome.
Paranormal Pages.
Yep. And the Paranormal Pages collection 1, the second one, collection 2, has been started. They're available at Amazon on Kindle, softcover, and a hardcover. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to do an audiobook. I may do an audiobook once I publish the second one. So,
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh,
you
that'd be
know,
cool.
yeah. So, but this was a lot of fun. This is 24 stories of things that have actually happened to me in the paranormal. They're slightly dramatized for the entertainment of the reader, but everything in there is actual.
I love it though. It's the way you can learn. You got to learn.
Right?
I usually steer away from the ghosts. They kind of freak me out a little bit.
They're just surprising. It's no big deal.
That's what I don't like.
I'm the most skeptical on here, so like I'm open for anything. Like I'll be down for anything you want to go to.
Cool.
He wants to go ghost hunt.
So we're gonna take you to Brushy Mountain, and we're gonna let you watch the cigarette get smoked by the ghost inside the bar, inside of the cell.
I'm cool. with that.
Oh, what?
He's ready, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
that'd be
the
amazing.
highlight of the Brushy Mountain trip last year. Was we got in multiple cells. You put a lit cigarette on the bars, and the ghost drags it.
Oh.
Nice.
As long as I'm not like in there by myself. Like if you guys are close.
We're gonna do that to you. Totally, we're gonna do that to you. We're gonna put you in solitary by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
It's part of the
Our
experience.
resident
Yeah.
skeptic does that all the time, so I'm not. Yeah,
You got to jump right in, feet first.
So
jump right in. Yeah.
resident
Huh?
skeptic. That's the second time you've named that. Like
My team is allowed to pick their nickname, and Jim did not pick his because I forced him to come on the team because I was the only one investigating and I needed somebody to go with me, so I forced him to go with me. And I named him the resident skeptic because he is the biggest skeptic I'd ever met in my life, and he was actually ghost hunting with me. So he has now since started experiencing things in the paranormal, and he says,
Oh, he's yeah. He's like, I
that's
don't
me
want.
and Randy's story together. Like I was kind of the same way. So
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
came in just kicking
yeah.
and screaming.
I told him I want to get a camera on him when he sees his first full-bodied apparition because his mouth is going to drop clear to the floor. I can explain that. No, you can't.
You can explain that.
But he is a very good debunker. He is the one we call anytime we get something that's going on because he goes in there and he takes a look at everything to see if there's any physical reason why it could have or should have happened.
That's always good to have.
And that's the first thing we do is we debunk.
Houston's usually like, guys, are we sure about this?
Yeah.
You guys are too deep. Come on.
You balloon pepper.
Yeah, it's fine. It's good though. It's good to have. Because when we get him, and he's like, okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like authentic when I'm like I can't explain it. Like
No, you are very
That's
authentic
cool.
about it, which is why we love having you on here with us. It's one of the best parts. Because like
Yeah.
if we can get something that happens and it's like, what do you think? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, we're good. We're good. Because I don't know. I don't have an explanation either for everything. But
There's a couple of weird, and then there's things that I leave open for years. It's like I still don't stamp it paranormal because there's just something about it. I'm not going to stamp it paranormal.
Yeah.
And something will come up and I'll test the little theory with that incident, and it's like, oh shit, still paranormal. And I'll test it through another theory. Yeah, I'm always testing everything that I've seen and heard and done. And it's like if something new comes up and it debunks something that I thought was paranormal, I'm okay with that. But there's that everything in the book so far, I can't debunk this puppy.
Nice.
it's a good, solid book. Paranormal
Yep.
Pages, people. Check it out.
Yep.
Come on out to the Cryptid Con and meet Kelly yourself. and ask her questions. But that's all we're going to do for tonight. Kelly, again, thank you for coming and joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me. This was fun. This is the funnest one yet.
Yeah, I always love your energy. So it was
Yeah.
good to talk to you again.
Well, I get to see you in like 2 months.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. That's 6 weeks.
I can't wait. Yeah, and
Yep.
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that investigation. See if we can at least do something out there.
Absolutely.
I'd
I'll
love
talk
to
them,
do
see
that. Okay, cool. You got my number.
All
All
right.
right.
Have a good night.
All right, y'all. I will. You too.